Hello, everybody. So we'll be having a couple of guests joining us momentarily, but today we're going to talk about everyone's favorite superhero, Ice Cream Man. Well, no, Batman, of course. Uh, I'll be quiet. But yeah, so we're going to talk about everyone's favorite, and we're just going to go around and like bounce around and things like that. And hopefully, the audience, you guys can like chime in whenever you want. Um, so far, if you send me the most photos, we'll start with you. Okay?
Okay, well, as a preface, I'm all in for Batman. Like my brother, I was really heavily into like the early '90s, into some of the early 2000s stuff.
Yes.
But a lot of my favorite things about Batman is the amount of ridiculous like villains and sidekicks
Oh
and
god, yeah.
allies, all the crazy shit that came from like Batman's fucking world from Gotham.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows like the rogue gallery that is like simply from Batman.
Except for movie
And
producers, apparently.
apparently they've forgotten those, and all they can do is like simply roll up on three guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the Riddler, like, ooh, uh, hey, it's Adela. Hey, girl. Hey, welcome to the panel. Uh, so yeah, one of my favorite Batman villains is simply Bane.
Fine.
Yeah, this guy is righted to hell. I would also like to welcome to the panel Ramblin' Canuck. It's been
Good evening.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm alive and kicking.
Good to hear, man.
good. Oh, and we have Bob as well. Hey,
Howdy.
You made it.
and we have Mrs. Canuck as well. Hey, Mary.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah,
Pretty good,
so
Hanging in.
like out of all of Batman's villains, like he went up against like Darkseid. He went up against like Kryptonians. He went up against Caledonians, right?
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
lanterns. Bane was the only one to literally break the bat. Which for me
Well, it depends
out of-
on which Batman you're talking about.
That is true.
well, yeah.
Because that's not technically true.
Well, and it also depends on what you mean by break the bat. We're talking physically in
You
Bane's
definitely broke him
but-
physically.
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
physically.
but that's what made Nightfall such an awesome dynamic story, was that Bane spent literal months outsmarting Batman, outmaneuvering him. He broke him mentally before he ever broke him physically, and that was what made such a compelling story.
Yeah. You want to talk about it for a bit? And we
If I start talking about Nightfall, I'm going to start talking about Shadow of the Bat, and I don't think we need an Azrael side rail on this one.
nobody needs anything to do with Azrael. He doesn't exist.
Oh.
Oh, dude, that's unfair, man. I've literally,
Wow.
I've literally got his Shadow of the Bat suit and the regular Azrael suit like on my wall right
Ooh.
here.
Fantastic. But yeah, but one of my favorite scenes to do with Bane is basically, do any of you remember Batman the animated series after
course.
Batman? Yeah, but where Batman fought Bane and Batman traded costumes with Clark
With
Kent.
Superman. Oh
Yes.
yeah, I do. I absolutely loved that whole. And it wasn't that he traded in that one. That was the episode where Batman was missing. Brainiac had captured him and was using mind control. That was Superman's team up with Tim Drake to go and find Batman. He crashes. Yeah, he crashes that party of villains, and I still love the Mad Hatter line. Yeah. Tweedle Bane and Tweedle Brain. I'll play your game if it's all the same. I do. I love the way he talked in that series.
Now, I will
Yeah.
fully admit, for my part, most of my stuff is central to Gotham and Batman himself. I didn't get into too much of the Batman Justice League stuff.
Well, let's be honest. There's so many of them now. They literally call them the Bat Family.
Yeah, well, you get what I didn't get into a lot of the crossover stuff with
just
the
a
Justice
message
League.
to the chat. Do I need to up my microphone because I turned it down a few minutes ago?
You sound fine to me.
Sounds good here.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
We can
I'm
still
good
hear
on
you,
it.
unfortunately.
Well, I'm sorry for
You didn't
Canada's
say
sad
that, I
excuse
would.
for Batman. Okay.
Oh,
But Ramblin, you want to tell us about your Batman for you?
Well, for me, I mean, oh god, now I'm going to sound like the old fart of the group.
No, you're not.
Well, I'll put it
Wow.
this way: the only Joker that is any Joker to me is either in animated series or starts with the first name Jack. The rest of them can kiss my ass.
We're not talking about the Joker, though. We're talking about Batman.
Yeah.
Well,
Finally,
but
fucking somebody
oh.
who does not want to fucking exhume Heath Ledger from his grave and suck
well,
his
dude,
dick.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm not. I was not a Heath Ledger Joker fan. I
Me neither.
did not like his portrayal hardly at all. Like it grows on you after a while, but
here's my.
Sorry, when you grew up with Jack as Joker, none of these
Nicholson's Joker's kind of legendary. I mean,
none of
he
these
is.
idiots can come anywhere close. And the ones that I wanted to throw off a building in the name of natural selection were the ones that had stated that thing that they called Joker. You mentioned his name, Christensen, was much better than Jack, and Jack couldn't touch him on his best day.
and
Oh,
you know
Lord.
what? I'm gonna put it this way. No disrespect to Heath Ledger. The guy was a hell of an
No
actor.
disrespect, but
Yeah.
come on, it's Jack fucking Nicholson.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
come on now.
that's a tough act to follow. And the thing is, too, one of my prime issues with that, as much as I like the movie overall, I did have an issue with his portrayal of the Joker, and my favorite villain more or less got only half written and then killed off anyway.
Well, yeah, but
Two-Face.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
weird thing about Ledger's Joker is that he was actually a soldier, which is none to do with the Joker's backstory at all.
No.
Like, because there's, after being people diving in and looking into it, and they're like the scars, the face, everything, the way he holds the gun.
That stupid line from that movie. You wanna know how I got these scars? I mean,
Which
come
one?
on.
Why so
Jack
serious?
Nicholson had the line, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?"
moonlight,
And
yeah.
they compare that to, "Do you want to know how I got these scars?"
You're my
Seriously?
number one guy.
Sure.
Oh,
one
yeah,
of
it's
the,
a thing.
most
we don't get
memorable.
Or-
to how you got those scars.
Or you know, if you really want to confuse one of these modern Jokerites, just walk up to him and go, "You're my number one guy." And if they go, "Thank you," you laugh hysterically.
Oh,
Well, he also did have the classic Joker outfit too.
Yes, he did.
actually, at Comic-Con, there was a guy who'd go out and he'd walk up like in full Batman costume with like scars on the chest, really well done.
Mhm.
And he'd walk up and go, "So you're my number one guy, are you?" And when you look underneath, he actually had Joker paint on his face.
Nice.
And he's there, and they're like, and one guy actually said thank you, and he went, "You're a newbie."
Yeah, exactly. Because usually when Joker said that to someone, they died immediately after.
Well, with the exception of Bob, who took a couple times afterward to go.
I actually saw one guy. It was really funny to cosplay. I saw one guy when he said, "You're my number one guy," pull out a lightsaber, turn it on, and go, "Really?" And then there's that abomination. That's it. Heath Ledger, not Heath Ledger's Joker.
Jared Leto.
That fucking thing that was in
Okay.
That was not the
that
Joker.
short-haired freaking teeth thing.
But
Yeah.
in defense
God.
of Jared Leto, just a moment. They were trying to start that Three Jokers nonsense as soon as he started, and his original plan was to be a different Joker every time he came on screen. So you could see the messed out shithead that he played in Suicide Squad, and then get the 1920s gangster in the next one. Jared Leto is a hell of an actor. And
Is it okay?
If he had,
I say, is it okay that how do I put this? I
It's
fucking
been
hate
happening
Jared
to
Leto
me.
as a person so much. It's hard for me to give him much credit outside of that.
Okay, but
Well, Jared Leto
let's
actually points out
let's
the
keep the appearance aside for a second. Okay, here's where I went nope. A hard fucking no. And I literally swore at the screen, fuck right off. And I shut the
was it
movie
when he
off.
forgot to apologize?
No. It was when Harley Quinn was falling out of, I think it was a helicopter, some fucking thing, and Joker risked himself to save her.
Yeah, that
Oh,
doesn't
come,
really.
yeah,
that doesn't,
I
that
didn't.
doesn't follow. That doesn't.
Do
follow.
any of you one of them
Also,
like,
I'm gonna be
that
real.
shows their relate. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say my side issue with that was the entire portrayal of Harley in those movies. Anyway,
Well,
Yeah,
but
in the-
still, Joker putting himself in danger to save Quinn or any other
Anyone
motherfucker
else,
on this planet.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm swearing, Revan. I didn't.
Yeah,
You're Irish.
dude, you can swear on my stream.
Hi,
It's okay.
Warm.
Isn't that just kind of a punctuation mark in our language? I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, like seriously, it's
Hold on.
What is going on?
Idella,
Are
are
you
you
okay?
all right?
Just talking to my dog.
Oh,
Oh. Well, hello,
No,
dog.
you're
How are
being
you?
really close when you're doing that to your mic.
Sorry.
No worries. But so one of the best scenes that encapsulates the Joker's relationship was in the animated series with Harley Quinn was when he pushed her off the building. She survived and she's like, well, I guess sometimes you just don't get it. And he was just there and just like, okay, I'm done with you, and just pushed her off.
yeah. It was that one Harley and Ivy episode where Pam was trying to convince her the entire episode that she didn't need Jack.
Yeah, they're in the actual new Harley Quinn TV show where she's actually telling Harley about the Joker. Harley was like, "Oh, we danced on the moon. He get on the roof underneath the moonlight." They're like, "No, they were like helicopter spotlights. They were roses. No, those were bullets. Like, he gave me a flower into my mouth. No, that was a grenade. I spun over. No, he pushed you over the roof."
How
What are you
about that
talking about?
Batman guy? I think he's pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Speaking about Batman, now I want to see your reaction because I said I would show you guys.
Oh no.
So everyone here is sadly aware of the CW. Sadly. And we
Fuck.
all know the multiverse crossover event that they had.
God.
No.
That's the look of a man whose career's dead.
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
That is
What is
Kevin
that?
Conroy, the voice of Batman from the animated series.
Oh yeah.
But here's
What
the
is
thing, guys.
fucking
If you
thing
look at it,
behind in between them?
that is the Batsuit. That is not
Yeah.
perfect.
What
until
the
it fits a
fuck is
woman.
that?
That is
What
the
on
CW
God
Batsuit.
green earth are you ruining my eyelids with
It
now?
looks like fucking
Oh.
it looks like a sick Clayface trying to
okay.
like mimic the bat
it
suit.
looks like somebody who has a bad cosplay, bad BDSM habit in there talking in his basement. Okay, what the fuck
All
is
right.
that?
To be fair, devil's advocate, just for a moment here. To be fair, that was not the complete bat suit. That was just the exoskeleton that he uses with the bat suit.
I think he's
Okay,
talking about.
well,
I think he
he's
was
got the
talking about the
full
thing
bat suit.
behind him.
Yo,
Actually,
what the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
That's
Oh,
not the
that's
bat
the
suit.
oh,
That's
oh,
the gimp
oh.
suit. There's a
the
difference.
gimp suit.
Okay, well, either way, it actually was a cool part because it is so cathartic to watch any version of Batman, especially a rogue totalitarian, a borderline totalitarian one. Knock the fuck out of Supergirl. That was absolutely brilliant.
But yeah.
But yeah, no, because it was great because it took both of them just to incapacitate the suit and get away from him. Like if he had had any more time at all, he would have killed both of them. And so Kevin Conroy enjoyed the part because he never thought he would get to play any version of Batman live action. He actually did a really good job for the
Yeah.
type of Batman they were portraying.
He's
Okay,
closer than
but
Mark
they
Hamill.
could do a really good Batman, but the suits.
The suit is terrible.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, that
Speaking
was
about
okay.
suits, what did you think
I'm
of
going to say
Batman?
something, and I'm going to date myself here. Okay,
Yeah.
when the suits and the Batmobile make the suits and the Batmobile from Batman Forever look good.
Oh,
We have a problem.
that's not
Okay,
dating
okay.
yourself so much as
nipple.
Okay,
Ooh.
Batman Forever. First of all, I'm 30 years old, and I recognized I grew up watching the only two, like both of the Tim Burton films were a little before. You know, I didn't get to see them till I was a
37
little bit
here.
older.
So-
But the point is, you're not old enough to call yourself old, but.
I feel old
because
enough
I'm
to call
41
myself
years old. All right.
I stare down at you, young one.
Like,
But the point is that first off, Batman Forever, there was nothing wrong with that movie. I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about. You know, Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey were
I'll tell you what
absolutely
was wrong with that
spectacular.
I will
movie.
give you this.
What was
Tommy
wrong
Lee
with that
Jones
movie?
as Two
And
Face was
Val
good.
Kilmer's still my favorite
Okay.
Bruce Wayne.
Okay, hold
But
on.
you missed my comment. The bat suit
Yeah, he's talking about the bat suit
and the
I will
Batmobile.
say flat out that one of
With
my
that
issues.
long
I
fin
didn't
at the
think
back
the suit
end of
looked
that.
that bad.
Hold on, guys. Let Farf talk. We're talking over each other. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as I actually get what he's saying with the costume because the costume was not that good in Batman Forever. And my chief issue, to be honest with that movie, was Carrie's Riddler.
Yeah. Well, it was Jim Carrey. What do you expect?
The man could not have chewed the scenery any harder and overshadowed anything else going on. I fucking hated it.
I
Jim
kind of
Carrey
thought that
was
the
not a
point.
fan of Batman at all. He had never seen it, and he just said, "Oh, I'm going to do my own twist on it."
Which
Well,
I fucking know.
I'll give him this. I'll say this: the pairing of of Tommy Lee Jones as Two Face was
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
It really
But-
was.
But what would have been better would have been at the end of Batman, the original movie. If I'm going to get all fanny and rewrite stuff, Joker doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
And that
hate
movie-
his movies.
Is Tommy Lee Jones and Jack Nicholson
That could have been
Joker?
fucking amazing.
and Two Face,
Yeah.
like in the
Especially
comic.
with the instead of them joining forces, it would have been better if Batman were trying to stop a war between the two of them. That would have been.
I mean, you could have done that
Well, yeah,
too.
because technically, with Joker still around, Two Face would have had a harder time taking over the underworld.
Yeah.
Joker would have been running it.
No, I'm just going to, in 2 seconds, I'm going to show something for our missing panelist, if I can actually find a picture to
Running
actually...
it or running around over the top of it. That's two different
Hold-
concepts there.
1 sec. I'm going to upload these two images first, because our missing panelist, Maxis, wanted to talk about these. These two things that she absolutely hated.
Was it that?
Oh,
Hello, Batman.
Oh, that's Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I never leave the house without my Bat credit card.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that was a joke. That was a joke going back to the
Yeah,
Adam
no.
West Batman, where he had to take a citizenship test. Like everything about those two movies, Joel Schumacher thought it was great to keep making off the wall references to the old '60s series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
well,
trust
he-
Joel
whatever.
He
Schumacher.
lied to
Yeah,
himself.
please, never trust Joel Schumacher.
No, well, Joel Schumacher actually apologized, and he said that he let his sexual appetite when he saw the suit get the best.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm just
boy.
going to say, hold on. Oh, there is the rogues, but this is it. Who's everyone's favorite Bat suit? Not man, suit.
Oh jeez.
Tim Burton.
That's a tough one.
Michael Keaton's suit. I like that
Keaton's
one.
suit is
The first
good,
one.
but I do remember some of the problems with Keaton's first suit, so I might have to go with the second one.
That second
Okay.
one still, I think, is
Second one,
although
followed by the first one, followed by the third one, and then the rest of them just look dreadful.
But, well, the problem is my favorite suit is the first Affleck suit, but the problem is him inside it. Like
Yeah.
they had to do all the fake. No. They had to do all the fake muscles and stuff, so
I
it made
know.
the suit look weird.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking as far as the suit design goes. I loved that suit. I love the action figures. I've got several of them. I enjoyed how big the emblem was and how because everything looked masculine. It looked like the first Xbox controller kind of masculine.
I always liked the black and yellow.
The black and yellow does have a pop up. I kind
Yes.
of like the black and white on each other.
It's why I liked that later on with Batgirl, they actually stuck with the black and yellow for like a long ass time on her suits.
And then here's the mobiles.
Oh boy,
That is not a mobile. I'm sorry, that is a tank. That is not a Batmobile.
No. I know, but
I'm gonna be that guy. I kind of like the Tumbler, but it didn't feel like something that Batman should have been.
Number 2 from the right.
2 is good. I like the Adam West car just for the nostalgia. And
for the nostalgia, but the one I grew up on is number 2.
Yeah.
I also remember
the other
number 2 having
Batmobile that isn't in there that I grew up on. That I had the car that had the Batwing come out the back end of it.
Oh yeah. The animated series one was nice.
The animated series.
Oh, what's the other panelist name?
The fun fact is that the Bats, the 1960s.
But yeah, the other, but you do have to let the other panelists.
Guys, we didn't let everybody give their opinion.
I kind of gave mine, and I'm vocal, so I'll shut up for a while.
What about you, Mary, and Phil, and the
Phil,
lady at the bottom?
Phil, what about you?
I'm honestly going to say that I am not as familiar with live action Batman as I am animated Batman.
Now, which Batmobile did you like?
But he has asked
then
which
I'll
the
swing back to
Batmobile
Phil in a minute.
Definitely the Adam West Batman.
Oh, there we go.
I go. That was an odd car.
I have a thing for old cars.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Okay, my Batman is Christian Bale Batman, and this is why. Because
you just love that 60-year-old smoker voice.
I was never into superheroes. I never read the comics. I watched the Tim Burton films. I liked them. I didn't hate them, but I was not into superheroes and Marvel or DC or anything like that until I went to see Batman Begins. And I loved the idea of it being a superhero, but it was more real life. So it made sense, I guess. Like it could happen.
Comparatively, yeah.
You liked it more street level.
Exactly. And I loved the fact that I think his name's Lucius, the Morgan Freeman character.
Lucius
Fox. He was like the gadget, the Q, you
want to be able to turn your
love
head.
that part.
To some level, I actually agree with you because most of my favorite stuff in Batman comes from the Gotham level, not the superpowers level.
Yeah.
So I love the Tumbler. I like the one from Tim Burton. My second favorite is the Tim Burton. The first.
I distinctly remember that moment in the Tim Burton Batman where the 30 cal machine guns popped out of the fucking hood at Ace.
Right, and that's awesome. Like now, and going back now, I do love that. But still, Christian, the trilogy, those are my favorites, and that's what got me into watching Marvel and everything else now, and having wished I had read the comics, and I haven't.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about
Phil?
And my Joker, I do love Heath Ledger, but my second would be Jack Nicholson. It's different for me. It's a different. It's not comparable for me.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Everybody came in at a different point.
Exactly. Now I'm doing this for Phil because of what he just said.
Okay.
Not to exclude him. Who's your favorite? Not Batman. We're just talking suits.
Suit?
Yeah, just the suits at this point.
Number 1?
Oh, can I weigh in on this? Because it's number 3.
Always, we all can.
Because he was on after school every day. Number 3.
Number 3. Okay.
That's definitely the one I remember because I watched that entire fucking
by
show.
gargoyles. But anyway, moving on.
Well, Phil,
I do have to admit my favorite Batmobile has got to be from the 2004 The Batman series.
No,
that thing was absolutely incredible.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
You didn't answer the question, Phil.
Yes, but Phil,
I've
which
been
is your favorite
trying
Batman?
to.
Do it. Quick clip.
I'm too kind to say shut the fuck up.
Then just say shut the fuck up.
I mean, I
You
could have
just
done it for
did.
you. I've done it before.
Okay.
I'd say it's a tie between the two in the middle on the top.
In the
Really? Yeah,
middle
the
on
same here.
top.
That seems to
Oh,
be
okay.
everyone's.
Really?
A lot of the
Okay.
newer generation likes the last two, but I really like the two on top.
I don't recognize that last one on the top.
The last one
Uh,
on the top is from this weird, goofy one.
The Batman,
Which
the
involved
Brave, and
in-
the Bold. Fuck that.
Yes, that's it.
Because the one next to it looks like the one from one of the DC animated movies. Because I have a couple.
It
of those.
I
is.
think he is.
Yeah.
The last the last four are all from animated movies.
Okay.
Well, what about Adela? She hasn't said much.
Yeah, Adela.
What, me?
Yes.
Well, I grew up with Michael Keaton Batman.
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's my favorite.
has anyone seen the Batman yet?
No.
No, I'm not.
I
saying
have.
No.
I'm not gonna. I'm not
I'll watch it eventually, but I've got to be in the right mood to be disappointed.
I
Okay.
will say I've seen it and I didn't hate it. It's
Yes.
it's
I may actually see it because
It's-
I want to see.
I looked at the Riddler one time and was done.
yeah, it's that part's a little. I liked the
Zodiac
story. It
Killer?
was a little drawn out.
Hmm.
I didn't
What's that?
mind
Ted
him as
Cruz as the
Batman.
Riddler?
I didn't like him as Bruce
How-
Wayne,
how-
but
And how the hell they gonna make Zoe Kravitz look like a teenage boy?
I hated her. I
I-
hated Catwoman. It was awful.
I
Yeah.
just. No.
But I also
Well,
don't mind Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, but Michelle Pfeiffer is the Catwoman.
Yeah,
I can
me,
roll with
I-
that.
Yeah, I
Halle
prefer.
Berry was
I
good, too.
I am still an Eartha Kitt fan.
I
Eartha
prefer
Kitt's
Anne
awesome.
Yeah.
Hathaway for me. But Phil,
Eartha
what's your
Kitt.
favorite animated series of Tell us about the animated shows that you love.
Okay,
'Cause we've
so I
all been
haven't
going on-
seen- I know there was like a bunch of like different. I don't know if they were movies or just shows.
There's a load of movies that
There
they
were a
made.
lot of movies too. Yeah.
I'm from like the 70s and the 80s animated. I don't know if they were movies or TV shows. Probably both.
If they're from the
but my-
70s or the 80s, they were Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, like Scooby Doo. He was in Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
I-
did.
I saw
I
that
did
one.
like. Yeah, I did like when they did the Diedrich Bader Brave and the Bold Batman when they did some Scooby Doo, like the more modern Scooby Doo movies with him. Those were pretty good.
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah,
Kind of a
that
nice
one was pretty good.
callback
I
to the
still have
old
yet to
ones.
watch
Yeah.
most of that.
But Phil, you were
Yeah.
saying?
Yes, I was saying. My two favorites would have to. Obviously, my favorite's going to have to be. I have to be. Some things are obvious because they are right, and the
Yeah.
right is obviously the Batman animated series with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as Joker.
Yeah.
Can't
Of
argue
course.
with that.
No.
But my second favorite
I like Batman.
is, without question, the Batman from 2004.
I did love that series.
I never watched it. I was not in a position in which I could watch it when it was out.
It's on HBO
Well,
Max. If you
I don't
it,
have
can stream
HBO
it
Max
for
for
you.
obvious reasons.
It got a
I can
lot.
stream
It got a
it
lot
for
of
you.
hate because it was the first iteration after the Kevin Conroy Batman. I mean,
Which
Yeah,
admittedly
man,
is a
like-
tough act to follow.
Right. But I
Okay.
gotta say, my three favorite Jokers animated are. Are we done, children?
You were saying?
My three favorite animated Jokers are
Yeah.
obviously Mark Hamill's number one.
Yeah.
Number two is Troy Baker. I know a lot of people, say he's just a carbon copy of Mark Hamill, and I'm like, okay, and that's a bad thing.
I remind me when
like
he was
Well, he was mostly. I think he was mostly into video games. But I'll count that as animated.
he was in
Yeah.
the Suicide Squad movie, the animated Suicide Squad. He was
I didn't
the
look
Joker.
at any of the Suicide Squad stuff. That's probably why I don't know.
I'd say, Phil, this is your favorite Batmobile as well.
Actually, I agree with who's the one who Bubba, I believe he said the Batmobile from the Batman.
Yeah.
That was me. I enjoyed
Yes,
that one.
I agree with him. I agree with him. That's my favorite Batmobile.
Okay.
Now here's where the guns come out, because my favorite Batman is still Terry McGinnis, the Batman Beyond.
Oh
I
yes,
absolutely love that series.
Yes, I
Josh,
I got a
wanted
warmer
to talk
reception than
about
I was
that
thinking.
too.
Whoa.
Josh will probably agree with you. I have no experience with it, so I don't really have much
streamed that one
attachment.
too. That's a damn good show, Batman
That
Beyond.
is a very
I'd
good
have to
show.
be in a very particular mood to watch it because I've never really developed enough of an attachment to generate interest.
It's worth watching if, for example, if somebody wants to know anything about it, that it is an audience.
Batman Beyond is definitely one of those examples of how to do an aging hero right.
It does explain what happens with Bruce Wayne later, and it also develops its own kind of new setting and new number of villains. So you get kind of your own fresh fang. So if you want to start somewhere, it's not a bad place to start.
I'm going to say this. Phil, I want to hear if you'll agree with me. Christian Waller was fucking creepy.
Who?
Waller, when she was older and she found God.
Lord. Yeah, Amanda Waller. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
the broad that runs the Suicide Squad.
Okay, and that was my only complaint, because the entire Batman Beyond series was awesome. The Return of the Joker movie was incredible. They even had a couple, that they had his crossovers with Static Shock and everything. The Zeta Project, but then all of a sudden, they come out with that Justice League episode that entitled Epilogue, and they just derailed everything. I'm like, y'all couldn't have just left it alone. Y'all had to find some way to biologically tie him to Bruce Wayne. Like the fact that he wasn't a legacy hero, the fact that he was his own Batman made that show so amazing. And then them, basically lowjacking his sterile father's sperm and making him produce Bruce Wayne's DNA. That was kind of creepy.
Very odd decision.
Yeah. It was now it was cool. I forget her name, but it was cool seeing the chick from the Mask of Phantasm. Like she was supposed to be the assassin that was supposed to, because Waller had it all set up. She was gonna kill Terry's family the same way that Bruce's family was killed. That way he could. That way he would develop the same way as Bruce, and luckily she was she had a conscience. But one thing that I do like though is that also means his little brother is Bruce Wayne's biological son, and he was an accident. So whereas Terry was manufactured, that kid, I've kept up with the comic books and everything. They don't do anything with him at all. Like to me, that seems like the perfect opportunity. I don't know, like the other Bat brother or something. They could go all out with that shit since they've already gone nuts.
But the Joker from Beyond was weird.
That was weird, but the fact
Joker
that
from Beyond, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Let's leave that as a surprise.
20-year-old spoiler.
Obviously, that's not actually the Joker's body.
No. But I'm just saying the Joker from Beyond, is weird.
But does it count as a spoiler if it's 20 years old?
Not if you want
to. My brother's trying to convince me to watch it.
I'm trying to entice people with something.
Yeah. Anyway,
so I'm just going to say this.
Trust me, if you like Mark Hamill as the Joker, you want to watch that movie. Even if you don't watch the series, you want to watch that movie.
I mean, I watched The Mask of the Red Hood, and I remember the guy who did Marcus Phoenix's voice in Gears of War did a good Joker too. So
there's
plenty of good voice actors
out there. DiMaggio, right?
If they were going to pick a guy to full-time replace Mark Hamill, he'd be my pick.
I'm going to say this.
Anyway, hold on a minute. I wanted to say my third favorite Joker.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't get the chance to before we derailed again. So yeah, my first two favorites are Mark Hamill and Troy Baker. My third favorite is without question Kevin Michael Richardson, who did the Batman Joker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not
All right.
familiar with that one.
Nor I.
Is that the
Especially
Rasta
the-
Joker?
Yeah, the
The
one
what?
with that wears the
Yes,
straight
yes.
jacket full time.
Oh
Okay.
God!
And was also the first Joker to get a hold of the Bane Venom. They actually Arkham Asylum ripped that straight from that episode, kind of like Arkham City taking the Mr. Freeze fight from Batman Vengeance. Everybody loves the Arkham Asylum games. They don't want to admit because they're like, "Oh, that was the first great Batman game." They don't
I would
realize how
never-
much everything from those games was stolen from another iteration of Batman.
Well, of course it was. It's
Like 20
Batman.
iterations
It's
of
been
Batman,
around
and they just
forever.
ripped everything.
My
Well,
issue
that's
is
not
That's
the point. The
nothing
point
new
is
for Batman, though.
everybody's like,
Yeah.
it's so great, it's so original. I love those games. They're great games, but they are not original by any stretch of anyone's imagination.
To be realistic, I like those games better than the Batman.
But
All
Well,
right.
hold on.
Next
so
topic.
going to the pictures. What's that? Going to the pictures, okay? I'm just going to go up to Phil.
Save
So we're
that
going to be
for
going
last.
from Phil for a bit.
Save that for last.
Save this for last.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yes, the Batman Telltale games. I had to bring these up because while I love the Batman Arkham games, these hold a special place in my heart.
I don't mean to be rude, but I have to ask why.
First of all, I like the stories. I think they're actually pretty well written. The voice cast is great. I love this iteration of Joker, and I like. This is going to sound. I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with this, but I like the idea of in the Batman: The Enemy Within. Instead of him being a straight up villain, you have the chance to kind of make Joker kind of a quasi anti-hero, even though he kind of loses his fucking mind at the end.
Yeah. Well, the Joker is, as he says, the reverse of Batman.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what iteration of Joker you're talking about.
Yeah.
We talked about this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's one of mine.
Okay.
Because I'd been holding a lot of this in because we kept bouncing around everywhere. Honestly,
Right.
some of Batman's supporting characters are some of the coolest shit I'd ever seen getting into comics.
Oh, they are.
Because both the Gordons, whether it's Jim or Barbara, were cool as fuck to me. Because they were, well, at least in Barbara's case, they started out, they're just street level people. You got the commissioner of Gotham PD, which is corrupt as all fuck. Every time you turn around, somebody's paying off the cops for some damn thing or another.
And for some reason, it's usually the Court of Owls.
Yeah, that's a lot of the time is a Court of Owls. But there's always somebody screwing with the cops or doing something where cops are getting killed. You got this one guy just trying to hold this shit together. And I always loved Jim Gordon as a
Someone's
character.
microphone
in the
is
comics.
really fucking sensitive.
What is that? I can't even tell.
Anyway.
So I was always a big fan of Jim. I liked that he was literally just a cop. He's a cop trying to do his damn job and trying to, make sure other cops don't die. He's trying to do the right thing, and he's in this city full of people looking to either kill him or find a way to ruin him.
Well, and I like the fact, Jim Gordon, with all of his background and everything else that he's, that he's got going for him, I enjoy the fact that as far as combat goes, I mean, this man has gone toe to toe with Batman's villains. Like he is absolutely incredible, and that's what. Have any of y'all seen Gotham by Gaslight?
Oh,
yes,
I haven't yet. Not yet.
Read the comic or seen the movie. Okay, I'll tell you, in both the twist is absolutely worth the entire thing. You kind of start to catch on about halfway through it, But yeah, no, it was a really nice twist. Though. I'm not gonna lie.
Speaking about twists, I'm just going to bounce down for one thing because I wanted to say this. Bill, I think you'll agree with me. This scene, this entire episode,
I have no context.
fucking hell.
Okay, well,
Yes.
She's a
dying.
psychic.
Oh,
Yes. And Waller sends Batman, like, she's basically doing what Wanda does. She's fucking up the city. But Waller sends Batman in with a device to kill her. But she can read Batman's mind and knows that she's dying. Hey, Kai.
What's up, man?
But she says to Batman, like, oh, I'm dying and you were sent here to kill me. But Batman just drops the device on the ground and he's like, yes. And she asks him, will you sit here with me and wait with me until I die? And he says, yes. And the two of them just sit on the swing, and then he just gives her a hug, and she dies in his arms.
Oof.
And Batman walks out at the end of that episode, holding her little body in his arms, and everyone proceeds to cry in the real world. I swear to God, that episode. Man, that is one of the best animated episodes of Batman I have ever seen, and I will defend that episode to this day. What about you, Phil?
Everything you just said.
Okay.
I don't see what else I could say that would add on to what you just said.
Yeah. Then what they did after that is a little homage to her. So her name is Ace, okay? In the comics and in the animated show. Batman's dogs after that are always called Ace. He named his dogs after her.
Okay.
And they're always with
okay. As long as we're talking about surprising Batman surprises, though, because you mentioned Ace, the Crypto the Superdog show was actually surprisingly good. Like even by an adult level, not just for little kids. That show and Ace the Bat Hound in that was absolutely awesome.
Oh yes.
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm just going to pop back up. That's so. You were about to buy credit card, blah 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 blah.
God, yeah, no more bad.
Because you were talking about her for a few minutes. I'm just going to go to.
That would be Firefly. I think you went the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
What a looker!
I just brought it down. But you were saying you sent it to me.
I'm still looking at Firefly.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Okay, well okay. I just want to make sure because you said her, so I was confused.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Firefly I was familiar with was a girl.
Yeah, because you came in at the wrong place. Firefly is Garfield Linz. He was a pyrotechnics expert.
Yeah.
For movies and shit. That iteration is from the Arkham games, but I happen to like the guy overall. He was also in the animated series at one point.
I did. Okay, so were you okay with them turning him into Phosphorus in the comics?
Not really.
Because I always liked, Killer Moth and Firefly both kind of failed as villains, and then all of a sudden they become Shiraxis and and Phosphorus. I thought I kind of liked the twist.
Didn't like them getting superhero or super villained so much.
Yeah. Hey Kai, if you're still watching, bud, check your DMs. But go ahead.
But Firefly is one of those guys I was talking about where he's ground level villain, and he's the kind of guy you expect Batman to be dealing with. And on a lot of levels, if not for his problems with his own ego and overcompensating, the guy is a match for Bruce. He's got the tech, he's got talent, he's got determination. It's just the guy's a little touched and he tends to overthink shit.
Well, he's no penny plunderer.
He's got far too much of a conscience for a Gotham villain, too.
Yeah.
Firefly?
With the flamethrower?
Firefly ain't got much of a conscience.
I'm talking about the old. I'm talking about the old comic version, not the. I'm not talking about the guy that was about to roast. About to roast Clark's mom in the movies. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about the guy in general. I mean, because they changed him. There was like only one iteration where he kind of gave a fuck. For the most part, the guy's for hire because he gets a kick out of it.
Yeah.
All right, on that, before you move too far on and get another conversation going, this old fart's gonna go lay down because I've got dialysis.
Yeah, you did.
tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
10
Take
o'clock.
care of yourself.
And I'm
So-
gonna follow him there. So
Yeah, I just thought I'd jump on and say hi
Thank you
to
guys
everyone
so
again.
much for joining us.
Yeah,
You're
thanks
welcome.
for
Rant,
joining us.
and derail your stream because it's fun and rant and rave
Yeah.
for a couple minutes.
It was nice
But
to
anyway.
see you again, man.
Be
Yeah,
well.
awesome to see everyone. But
hey Ramblin,
and I've gotta
before
go
you
lay
go,
All right.
you've got wrench, so drop your PayPal in the chat, and you want to push yourself and that.
Oh, does Mary have it? Because I don't have any of that pulled up. So
I think I'm a wrench on Mary's game room, but not Mrs. Canuck. Hold on.
Well, if you post it, I'll make a wrench.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me find it.
but anyway, folks, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you all, and
Yeah.
take her easy.
See you
And,
later, man.
Just
Take it
remember,
easy,
Reverend,
guys.
you will always be my number one guy.
Yay! He hates me. Someone hide me.
Wow.
Well, you're not in the clock tower, so you're fine.
I am the clock tower.
Well, then you're fine.
Yes.
He can't throw the clock tower down the clock tower.
Hey, Ramblin. Sorry, no Ramblin.
Ramblin'.
Kai, check your DMs. Now, there you go. Just right, Stu.
Is Adela still with us?
She muted because
Hey.
of her dog, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure we get equal time out there.
There we go. I posted it. I'm gonna go ahead and go hop off too.
All
so.
right. You have a good night.
Bye.
Yeah,
See ya.
but so I'm just going
Later.
to say to people watching that Ramlin's going through like a hard time. So there's his PayPal. He's like anything you can give him would really like help the guy. He's quite sick without getting into it. Like, but he's after coming on a hard time financially. So anything you have there will like really help him out. So I'm back to the fun. Wait, I thought for a second we lost Phil.
Oh shit. Did we?
No, I thought for a
I'm
second.
here.
I know I forgot for a second. I'm used to seeing you as a. As
Oh, he didn't see your icon.
I'm like, where is he? No. And start crying in a little ball. Phil hates me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Either
so
one of these will work.
Jason Todd.
Oh yeah. This dude. I mean, this guy is
What was
basically
that?
what happens if one of the Bat family goes fucking Frank Castle on your ass.
Oh yes.
It's funny because he follows Bruce's code to a point, and that's to the point where he won't fucking kill anybody. Because Jason
Although-
does not give a fuck at that.
I would love to see Red Hood and Azrael full on have a reason to duel each other. I'm talking about, all hell breaks loose. The two of them are trying to murder each other.
Phil, do you know who he is?
Red Hood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Okay, so you're aware that he is. I'm going to upload it. I'm
Right.
also using you for the audience as well, just not specifically you, okay?
That works.
It's also this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I'm very well
Well,
aware.
like he said, he's also using that as a director for the audience to point it out to them.
I actually remember a story from one of the writers involved in that arc with the comics because it was big news back in the day.
What was that?
And he recalled going to a sandwich shop, and one of the guys recognized that he was one of the writers for Batman. And he said, "Hey, this is one of the smucks that's going to kill Robin."
Oh,
And everyone in the store stopped and stared at him.
Yeah, they actually killed Jason Todd off. Do you know how?
I don't remember. Holy
Well,
shit!
I'm familiar.
Let
A
me
phone
just-
call.
Oh,
Yeah, literally people phoned in. The public chose by phoning in on who was going to live or die, and they killed him off.
Jeez.
that's fucking shitty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, when it came out, it was the era's version of, hey, we're doing a poll.
God.
Because people definitely don't cheat on those.
Right?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Like, my God.
Oh man, what a mess.
All I thought of this whole conversation about Jason Todd and Red Hood is the one line from the epic rap battle of history between Joker and Pennywise, where Joker says, "Ask Robin if I drop bars."
God. Why do you watch those?
He also
Because
brings
they're
the health
fun.
down.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Oh,
All right.
But-
so.
the like
Kai,
the,
that could be, honestly. It's hard to say.
the Mark Hamill, like for a second, the Mark Hamill Joker. Talking about like Jason Todd, the Mark Hamill Joker actually led Mark Hamill to get if you're watching Mark Hamill, hello. I'll sell you Phil for $5. But
Shut
if
the
you
fuck up.
so
Wow.
he actually led into the voice of one of the best animated villains in anime, and I will beat you. Ozai.
Who?
Get culture, you ignorant swine.
I'm sorry, what? Piss off? Is that what you said?
yes. I said hit me harder. No, it's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Thank you. You know
Fire
I
Lord
can't
Ozai.
remember the name of the fucking
Avatar is
Come
not
on.
an anime.
Technically it isn't. Technically it is. It's weird.
It's a debate that's going on in the community.
fucking
and it's
ever.
fun to
But who was? But who the fuck was
It's
those?
not Japanese in any fucking way. It's not anime.
Okay, this is not a conversation for this panel.
This
What
is
the fuck
about
are you talking about?
Batman.
You know, in The Last Airbender, you know the Fire Lord himself.
Yes.
That was Mark Hamill.
Okay, I did not fucking know that.
Yes. Like the big guy, that actually was. If you listen to him, he's actually using the same voice for Ozai as he did for the Joker.
Okay, I ain't watched the old show in fucking forever.
But yeah, Phil, do you remember in Justice League Unlimited when fucking Lex Luthor took over the Flash's body?
Vaguely. The number of episodes of Justice League Unlimited I've seen were rather, to put it as ironically as I can, limited.
Okay.
Wow.
And it's been fucking years.
Okay, so basically, the Joker took over not the Joker. Lex Luthor took over Wally West's body. Okay? And he walked up to a mirror and he said, "Finally, I'm going to see who you are. You are like one of the biggest pains in my ass." Put his hand on his mask, pulled his mask off in the bathroom mirror and said, "I have no idea who you are."
That was beautiful. And nobody can two things. One, this past weekend my brother and I got to go meet Michael Rosenbaum, who played the Flash in that series.
Yeah.
I didn't know until recently that he also played Kid Flash in the Teen Titans series as well.
Really?
But both of them were
he
Wally
did.
West, which means canonically speaking, the Teen Titans series had to have taken place before the Justice League series, or at least before Justice League Unlimited. No, it would have had to have been before the Justice League series because he was the full-fledged Flash in the whole series. So, and that actually is backed up in the episode where they're fighting the General and Oliver Queen, has and Speedy shows up, and he's talking about him being his ex-sidekick, and so it actually makes sense that series takes place after the Teen Titans. But moving on from that, Michael Rosenbaum is freaking awesome.
All right then.
But Clancy Brown in the Brain Swap episode was great, and that was awesome. But we were talking about Mark Hamill a second ago. If people knew how much of the 90s Batman series borrowed from the 1990 to 1991 Flash series, and he was allowed to, he was the trickster in that series, and it was like he took the trickster and darkened him up a little bit, and that's the whole Mark Hamill's portrayal of the Joker is literally just a dark, like, devastating form of the trickster. And then we get to see in the Justice League Unlimited series, we get to see him play the trickster for a moment. That was a nice callback.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
What?
I did not mean to go off on that side tangent, guys. I am so
No,
sorry.
I'm just going to
It's
show
alright.
you something else now for 1 second. If I can actually find it. Just imagine a little potato dancing, guys.
Dun,
That's what I'm doing.
dun. There you go.
Okay. So, just a bit of a, like... So, back in the 90s, this was Mark
Holy
Hamill.
shit. I'm sorry. What the fuck is that?
Just recently, I got to meet John Wesley Shipp, and he signed my copy of that series. But he mentioned Mark Hamill. It was because of Mark Hamill that he was able to loosen up in the suit and everything. Like, because he was all, yeah.
Wow.
And that's him. They brought him back now.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember this one was one that got a lot of people thinking he was going to get to play the Joker.
Oh, okay.
Live action, yeah. Which would
They
have been
actually
nice.
made a joke in that episode where he's like, you know me, I'm just a Joker.
Oh.
And he turned around. But
I still love it when he's like hauling him off. He's like, this is superhero brutality. I'll own that fruit bowl. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I'm gonna sue you and own that fruit bowl. Yeah, that was great.
But we'll go for another few minutes, guys. It's 3:05
Yeah, it's
in the
getting
morning
close,
over here.
Yeah.
No,
But,
Lord.
Yeah, Phil, we kind of interrupted you a lot. So you want to talk about more about the animated shows that you loved or movies?
Not really. I
Okay.
think everybody said pretty much everything.
Hi,
Not
Barbara.
about her. Oh, Barbara.
Huh.
So when I was talking about the Gordons, there's the other half of that equation. I really like Barbara Gordon just in general. I liked her as Batgirl before DC screwed that up, and I even liked her as Oracle.
Yeah.
You see, I'm a
Oracle-
Stephanie Brown Batgirl fan.
Okay.
Okay. That's fine. I liked Oracle because it did really let you get into Barbara's personality a little bit more with how she dealt with like a different kind of adversity, and it really it got into her intelligence as much as it did everything else. And Oracle really did kind of let that character grow quite a bit.
Yeah, like, and in the Killing Joke, what they did to her, my God, that was fun.
That was
Like, we
Only
can't even
Alan
say-
Moore. Only Alan Moore would do that to Batgirl, though.
We can't
And,
say
you know.
on stream what they did to her, but it was
I know. Oof.
just like a struggle cuddle.
It
And-
was not good things.
No.
It was not good things. And then in the same story, she both had sex with Batman, got pregnant, and lost the child. She had a very bad week.
That was
in
a weird fucking story.
It was Alan
yeah,
Moore.
but if you look at it, she had a very bad week.
Yes.
But we're going to finish up, and I promised Phil we'd finish up on this.
Yes. Because if we're going to talk about Batman, we have to at least bring up the character that inspired him.
Which the animated series kind of did without actually calling him by name.
Gray Ghost.
Yep.
They actually, there's actually a couple of comic issues in the 70s where Batman meets the Shadow. One of them actually flat out admits, the Shadow inspired him to become Batman.
I thought it was kind of interesting in the animated series where they nodded to that with the Gray Ghost episode and then had Adam West do the voice of the Gray Ghost. Just to kind of nod back to the original series, too.
That was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. Seeing Adam West as a Gray Ghost was just as good as in the Brave and the Bold episode that was Chill of the Night, where Joe, where they had Joe Chill. I loved how the Spectre was played by Mark Hamill. Kevin Conroy played the Phantom Stranger, and they had Adam West play Thomas Wayne in the flashback from the comic books when he's in the Batman suit for the Halloween costume.
Yeah.
It was that whole episode was an awesome callback to everything that was Batman.
But Phil, you want to keep going on?
Yes, I do. So the Shadow is a character from the Pulp magazine, the novels, and I'm not going to go too far in depth on him because I'm not.
Okay.
Most of my experience with him has been with the radio drama, a few episodes of the radio drama, which I highly recommend everybody watch or listen to.
Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Orson Welles, yes. Orson Welles was the first person who played the Shadow in the fucking radio drama.
I believe there was also a test that they did to try to drum up a movie with him as the Shadow.
Yes, there was a movie in the 90s with Alec Baldwin. I've not seen it. I don't know how good it is.
I saw it. It was all right. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't bad.
Oh, I'm just saying, like way back in the day of Black and Gray, there was a test.
There were a few Shadow movies from like the 40s.
Yep.
I hear they're pretty good. I have not seen them. Again, like what I know from the Shadow is some of the radio dramas, and I'm in the process of reading the first novel, The Living Shadow. Really fucking good so far. And the audiobooks that some Razor Fist has recorded and put out of various Shadow novels.
The Shadow's got a good track record.
Oh yeah.
I would recommend anybody and everybody in here and in the chat, and anybody who's going to watch this, look up the Shadow. Look at what Razor Fist has to say about it. Listen to the audiobooks that he's done. Look up the radio drama. Most of the novels, I think, are actually public domain at this point, so you could find them online for free.
And I would also say, Phil, in regards to the Shadow, and like you said, with like his inspiration to Batman, I think it's most telling if you consider, and I don't know if you remember, that the earliest iterations of Batman, he actually did carry a gun. Like that.
Yes.
Batman's
and
early
he was not above
iterations.
killing.
Yeah.
No, there's actual like evidence now that Batman even now would like beat your ass and kill you.
Yeah.
Well, they've kind of turned Batman into a sociopath.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a problem with that.
I miss the 80s version of Batman where he's an actual detective.
Yeah. Which honestly is another reason going back to it that I like the Batman Telltale games, because those are a lot of the sequences in there play out like, they're point and click stuff. You're looking at evidence, you're analyzing it, and you're trying to piece together the crime scene.
I have the same issue with those I have with almost everything Telltale's ever done, is that they just feel like overpriced, like animated movies.
Yeah, the episodic model of gaming. I mean, it's no wonder that Telltale went under.
Yeah, there is an element of truth to that. And I do hate going off a bit of a tangent that Resident Evil, Capcom kind of adopted that idea for the Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Yeah, that was fucking weird. Thankfully, to their partial credit, they did later release that on disc as a complete thing. But it was dumb on release, I agree.
Yes, and also to Telltale's credit, they did do that They did do that with the Batman games and the Wolf Among Us and the other, serialized movie like games that they've done. And honestly, other than, releasing them episodically and overpricing them, I have no fucking issue with that.
Yeah.
With that presentation of video
Well,
game.
and at
I
least
think that's
and
fucking genius.
Whoa.
to Telltale's to their credit, they were very upfront and honest about everything. They let us know, and they kept everything above board. They didn't try to trick us into buying it or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But guys, we're going to wrap it up here, okay? You want to shield yourselves? Because the links are in the description below.
I've done that once already today.
Well, you can do it again.
If it's in the links, there you
Well,
go.
I'll go ahead and kick off since I don't have any extra channels or anything. This has been Geek Hero Bubba, the master of the side tangent. I am known far and wide as the backstory bard and the only guy that, the only guy that can derail any conversation. I swear to you, if the Pope and the President were getting those two to sidetrack wouldn't actually be that big of a feat.
No,
Never mind.
it really wouldn't.
Okay, so I'm
Especially not right now.
yeah. So
I'm just going to move away from mentions of like religion and politics.
Oh, okay. I wasn't mentioning politics specifically.
I've got a tag in there.
But in any event, thanks for having me on. This has been absolutely great. Yeah. No, when I tried, I had been trying to get on for like 15 minutes. My phone, I had it in airplane mode to try to recharge it, and it's like everything was showing like it was like 20 minutes beforehand. So you're already live. Yeah. I'm just a really young one. Anyway, all right. Thanks again, man.
Okay.
See you around, man.
Phil, do you want to show yourself?
Yes, but before I do, just real quick, Barvithian Guard. He's a gaming channel. Him and his brother, Mr. Nobody, do lots of different games. Frequently Guild Wars. I'm on there sometimes. It's a lot of fun. Go subscribe now.
That'll work. Thanks.
Yes.
And
yeah.
For me, my channel is Kilroy Was Here. I just did a Cards Against Humanity stream a little bit earlier today, and I think I might do another one sometime soon. On top of that, it seems like my internet has been behaving itself lately. There was a hiccup, but it turns out that was because somebody unplugged the router because of some electrical work.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to blame my internet for that this time. So,
no, I guess not.
I'm going to try and start streaming my time at Porsche again. There are a few other games I want to stream. Not tomorrow, but next Friday is payday for me. So I might splurge on a capture card so I can do Switch games.
Oh, sweet.
I have a capture card, and I have not even tried to stream a PS4 game yet because I haven't had the ambition to figure out how the fuck it works.
Log it in.
Is she awake?
Adela?
What, me?
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, I was saying your name and saying, do you have anyone to shill around?
Do I have what?
Anyone to shill, push.
Do you want to shill your channel or someone else's? Or just tell us how awesome we are?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
My YouTube covers I do. So
okay.
Right now.
Watch and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, for some
Mr.
great
Nobody,
content.
what about you? You have anyone or anything to show?
Well, you might have heard of arms, chairs, and possibly warriors, and this is combined to create one of the greatest, most stunning novel sensations you have ever experienced, possibly in 7 of your lives. That is the maiden.
Do I get that many?
There's explosions, there's possible maidens, and there's definitely pulped paper made into a thing that you can read. Get it today from Amazon and possibly some other locations. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, or creatures from the Amlicons.
By the way, when my book goes live in June, you're not promoing it.
I am promoting it every chance I get.
Oh God, yeah, so am I, Farm. I'm gonna have a special stream for you with all the writers I know.
Oh, I understand. I'm just like I'm giving him shit because weird way that he does these.
I already got it in my mind. It's like, do you love America?
It's not even set on the Earth.
That's right. That's the way you should love it more. So we take it over for their oil.
Wow. What the hell's the matter with you?
Do you love America?
He's
Do
having
you
way
love
too much fun with
Tanzania?
this.
Do you love Quetzalcoatl?
That's right. It's
Oh,
possibly
boy.
a desert
Just
in place with
wow.
oil or other resources we want to steal. Let's do
Hey,
it.
son of a red shirt.
Hey, son of Red Shirt.
Jesus. Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah. We good that everyone showed?
Good night,
Okay, so-
ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. So I'm gonna Phil, you wanna say your line?
Fuck you, Kevin Smith.
There we go.
I would
So,
like
good
to
night,
add, by the way, if we're gonna do that, Josh, you want to do the other washed-up stoner departure?
Which one is that?
You know the one that like Snoop Dogg literally bitched out recently.
Oh, I can't say that and keep his stream, okay.
Oh, my stream can't be monetized anyway because
I can't.
Just
either.
say fuck you to him.
Seth Rogen, you have never been funny, and your mom is a whore. Good night, slut.
Oh, hold on. So you just want to keep the stream? Okay. Seth Rogen, you're the biggest cunt on the internet. Your acting career is in
And
a
off the
shambles,
internet.
just like your face. I hope your career crashes and burns faster than the Hindenburg. Goodbye, rotten hell.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep.
Acceptable.
I hope. Look, I can go one further.
Yeah, back some
I
lines,
hope
whatever.
your career crashes and burns faster than the Twin Towers.
Oh,
Oh,
I remember
Yep.
watching that. I didn't even get a day
So
off.
do I.
wow.
Okay, good. Well,
Guys, you
well
know,
after
I'm
insulting everyone, I'm going to say good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night. Fuck you, Kevin Smith.